Have you ever walked into a Uniqlo store and wondered why it feels so different from almost every other clothing retailer? There are no giant luxury logos, no chaotic discount bins, and no flashy displays fighting for your attention. Instead, you're greeted by perfectly folded t-shirts, neatly organized jackets, and a calm shopping experience that almost feels too simple. Yet behind that simplicity lies one of the greatest business success stories in modern retail. Today, Uniqlo operates thousands of stores across the world, serves millions of customers every week, and its parent company, Fast Retailing, has become one of the largest apparel companies on earth. So how did a company famous for selling plain clothes outperform brands obsessed with trends and fashion shows? The answer isn't celebrity endorsements, billion-dollar marketing campaigns, or revolutionary clothing designs. The real secret is hidden inside one simple business philosophy that changed the industry forever. To understand that philosophy, we need to travel back to post-war Japan. In 1949, in the quiet city of Ube, Yamaguchi Prefecture, a small men's clothing shop opened its doors. It belonged to Hitoshi Yanai, a local retailer serving ordinary customers. Years later, his son Tadashi Yanai joined the family business. Unlike many fashion entrepreneurs, Yanai wasn't fascinated by glamorous clothing or artistic design. He was fascinated by how businesses work. He carefully watched what customers actually bought, how products moved through stores, why some items sold instantly while others collected dust, and how efficient operations created long-term success. While other companies focus on creating fashionable clothing, Yanai focused on understanding everyday people. He realized something surprisingly simple. Most people don't build their lives around fashion trends. They build their lives around work, family, travel, school, and everyday routines. They needed clothes that were comfortable, reliable, and affordable, not just fashionable for one season. That insight inspired a completely different retail model. In 1984, Yanai opened the first unique clothing warehouse in Hiroshima. Even the original name revealed his vision. This wasn't supposed to be an exclusive fashion boutique. It was a warehouse filled with practical, everyday clothing that anyone could afford. Soon after, during the company's registration process in Hong Kong, a simple clerical mistake shortened the name from Unique Clothing to Uniqlo. The accidental name was shorter, cleaner, and far easier to remember. More importantly, it perfectly matched the company's growing identity. While competitors chased seasonal trends, Uniqlo focused on perfecting the basics. Instead of introducing thousands of new styles every few months, it concentrated on t-shirts, jeans, sweaters, jackets, underwear, and everyday essentials that people would always need. But making basic clothing isn't enough to build a global empire. Anyone can sell a white t-shirt. The challenge is making customers believe yours is worth buying again and again. Uniqlo obsessed over fabric quality, comfort, durability, fit, and consistency. Every visit to one of its stores reinforced that philosophy. Products were arranged by size and color, stores were clean and bright, and shopping felt effortless. Customers didn't have to search through clutter or guess where to find what they needed. Everything simply made sense. That calm, organized experience quietly became part of the product itself. Then came the moment that proved the strategy could work on a massive scale. In the late 1990s, Uniqlo introduced its fleece jackets. Warm, lightweight, affordable, and available in a wide range of colors, it became an instant phenomenon across Japan. Millions were sold, bringing huge numbers of first-time customers in the Uniqlo stores. Many arrived looking for a fleece jacket and left with bags full of other essentials. The fleece wasn't just a successful product. It proved that exceptional basics could become just as desirable as high fashion. Suddenly, competitors realized Uniqlo wasn't simply selling clothes. It was selling trust, consistency, and everyday value. But the biggest reason behind Uniqlo's success wasn't a jacket or a t-shirt. It was the business system working quietly behind every product. Unlike many clothing retailers that depended on long supply chains filled with middlemen, Uniqlo adopted a model that gave it control over nearly every step of the process, from product design and material selection to manufacturing partnerships and retail sales. By producing fewer styles in much larger quantities, the company reduced waste, lowered production costs, and maintained remarkably consistent quality. Long-term relationships with manufacturing partners allowed Uniqlo to improve production year after year instead of constantly switching suppliers. This efficiency gave the company something every retailer dreams of: premium quality products at prices ordinary people could afford. As Uniqlo grew stronger in Japan, Tadashi Yanai set his sights on the rest of the world. The company expanded into Europe, China, Southeast Asia, and eventually the United States. But international success was far from guaranteed. American shoppers already had countless choices, from Gap and Old Navy to H&M and Zara. Many consumers wondered why they needed another brand selling simple basics. Instead of changing its identity to fit local trends, Uniqlo doubled down on what made it different. It introduced the idea of lifewear, clothing designed not for fashion shows, but for real life. The mission wasn't to impress people with bold designs. It was to make everyday living more comfortable through thoughtful clothing. That philosophy led to some of the company's most successful innovations. Heat-Tech transformed lightweight thermal clothing by using advanced fabric technology to retain body heat without bulky layers. Airism kept people cool and dry during hot weather, while ultralight down jackets delivered warmth without heavy weight. These weren't products built around fashion trends. They solved everyday problems. Customers weren't just buying clothes. They were buying comfort, convenience, and reliability. Over time, that reputation became one of Uniqlo's greatest competitive advantages. Even as fast fashion brands raced to release thousands of new products every year, Uniqlo stayed disciplined. Instead of chasing every trend, it refined what already worked. Better fabrics, better fit, better quality, better shopping experiences. Designer collaborations with respected names like Jill Sander and J.W. Anderson created excitement without changing the company's identity. Every decision reinforced the same message: simple clothing made exceptionally well. Today, Uniqlo stands as one of the world's largest fashion retailers, not because it shouted louder than everyone else, but because it understood something its competitors often ignored. Most people don't wake up wondering what's trending on the runway. They wonder what they can comfortably wear to work, on vacation, during winter, or throughout a busy day. Uniqlo built its empire by answering those ordinary questions better than almost anyone else, and that's the twist that changes everything. Uniqlo didn't become one of the world's biggest fashion brands by acting like a fashion company. It became a global powerhouse by acting like a problem-solving company that happened to sell clothes. Sometimes the biggest business breakthroughs don't come from chasing hype or reinventing yourself every season. Sometimes they come from quietly doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. The next time you walk past a wall of perfectly folded Uniqlo t-shirts, remember you're not just looking at basic clothing. You're looking at one of the smartest business strategies ever built.